But joining us right now here on the phone line from the Play Tessie podcast, the brains of the operation, of course, I'm talking about Pat Brown, who joins me here on the Christian Arcand Show. Pat, great to have you. How you doing tonight?
Could be better if they had a better deadline.
I agree. I think this was a very disappointing deadline. You just heard Craig Breslow. I don't know if you heard the entire presser. That combined with the moves that were made, have you feeling right now how?
So disappointed. So beyond disappointed. I mean, the day they trade Raffy away, where at the time it looked like they were going to full-blown sell. They sing from the mountains, we're buyers, we're buyers. Every single media availability from that point. We're buyers, we're buyers. We're bringing the offseason aggression to the deadline. We're buyers, all this. You're talking about, like, Joe Ryan at the All-Star break. They're in on Merrill Kelly. They're trying to get Yandy Diaz. Like, everything that could have happened at the deadline in a good way just didn't happen. Nothing good today or yet last night, really. Good happened. A lot of fine and kind of downright bad happened. It was an incredible disappointment.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm pretty let down by all of this, and especially the fact that we all got catfished by Yahoo Sports and the Joe Ryan thing right before they announced Dustin May. It was already a pretty disappointing move, I'd say, anyway. Not that I'm some big fan of, Mr. Tibbs over there or anything like that, but he was a top 10 prospect in your organization, and you traded him for a guy who it seemed like the Dodgers were just trying to get rid of. I didn't think there was a whole lot of bargaining going on right there. The Dodgers have a bunch of guys coming off of IL and figured they didn't need Dustin May, despite the fact that their pitching is in shambles right now. I mean, really, like their bullpen's been so bad, and they decided that was a risk worth taking.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it, because they were even kind of alluding to it on the broadcast last week when they were playing Dustin May, saying that this is probably his last start.
Right.
It's a high fours ERA. They have a bunch of guys coming back. May obviously is probably not going to be happy with the bullpen role. Like, you're talking about a guy who's either maybe getting DFA'd or traded at the waiver deadline. And you gave up a top 10 prospect, not just any top 10 prospect, a guy that's going to be for the rest of his career tied to the Rafael Devers trade. And it's just insane to me that not only is that the starting pitching addition, you actually gave up something borderline substantial for him.
Yeah, that's true. Although I do think that just based on the lack of starters that really went around, Merrill Kelly signed and a couple other guys, but it was mostly closers and mostly like rental bats that you saw get traded here. So I wasn't surprised that if you were going to acquire a starting pitcher, it would be a steep asking price. But again, I didn't even think that Dustin May would be on the radar of a team like the Red Sox, who I think we all were led to believe were going to be targeting more frontline guys. Now, you just heard Craig Breslow there, Pat. To me, he sounded almost like apologetic, like, sorry we didn't do more. Usually you hear guys come out and really talk up the guys that they traded for, and I got the feeling that it wasn't very celebratory,
Yeah, no, he definitely didn't take the stand today and sound super proud of how things went,
right.
Especially considering, he did kind of outline we tried to go after some substantial pieces, meaningful upgrades, like everyone on the farm was available. And there was a phrase in there where he said we kind of landed on or settled for like May and Max. And that's not him saying like we think we substantially upgraded this roster. Right. This gets us over the hump. Like, he's not saying any of that. So he's at least self-aware in the sense that he knows that in the regard of what the expectations were, it was a huge letdown.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Who do you think had the best deadline out of the teams in the American League that the Red Sox are competing with right now?
Oh, so the Mariners obviously got, I would say, maybe two of the best bats traded in Naylor and Suarez.
Yeah.
And that's really all they need. That bullpen is, for the most part, locked down. That rotation, I would argue, is top 3-5 in the league.
And they got Ferguson from Pittsburgh, who's good too, right? Like they added to that bullpen too, yeah. Yeah,
and it's just kind of they checked every box they had. The Yankees had a great deadline, but they didn't add a starter, which I thought was odd. But you can't upgrade a bullpen any more than they did in the last, 48 hours. Going out getting Duvall and Bird and all those guys. That pen is now loaded, and it's going to in Bednar, yeah. And it's just shortening games at this point. So you can live with some subpar started pitching because the game's only going to be about 5 or 6 innings anyway. But those two in my mind jump out. The Rangers had a great deadline, but those two in my mind jump out as like the clear winners in the American League.
Yeah, I thought the Rangers had a good one too. I thought the Astros had a decent little deadline. Toronto, a lot of teams were very active. Are the Red Sox still a playoff team in your mind?
In my mind right now, no. No, they're not. Because, and I've been kind of saying it on the podcast for a couple of weeks now, that I would give my judgment on the season after the Dodgers series. And I had said, if they make marginal upgrades to this roster, I lean yes. I don't even know if you could look me in the eye and say they made marginal upgrades. Because to me right now, could you say that Steven Matz is a better reliever than Brendan Bernardino, Chris Murphy, Justin Wilson, and Aroldis Chapman?
No, but, I'd say he's better than Criswell and Alcala, like you upgraded that, at least, like if that's the role that you have for him. But you just heard Breslow say 7th, 8th, and 9th inning for him. So, yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is, especially with Matz, he's a lefty. The chances they carry 5 lefties is pretty slim. So the guys that I highlighted, of the 5, he might be better than 1, maybe 2. But the fact that's not, a unanimous yes is the sign of not a huge upgrade. And then Dustin May, I mean, it'd be hard to be worse than Walker Buehler. And it's to the point where, at this point, he probably gives you a little bit more than Richard Fitz was, especially over the last couple of starts. So that's a marginal upgrade in my eyes if he at least stays healthy. But, I mean, granted what the other teams around you did, you kind of made some lateral or marginal upgrades, and everyone else around you got way better.
Who was your white whale, Pat? Who did you really have your heart set on for this deadline?
So, I mean, ideally it was Joe Ryan all along, and then over the past 4 or 5 days, up until really that fluky Fox Sports graphic, it truly sounded like he wasn't really going anywhere. So I kind of let that ship sail a little bit. My white whale after that was Yandy Diaz, and he didn't move today, so it's not going to kill me. But the Rays kind of did this weird buy, sell, or whatever. But Yandy was my white whale, and I truly did think they had a decent shot at him going into today.
Did you have any untouchables? Were you like unwilling to discuss? If it was you in the chair there, like were you a don't trade Duran guy or a don't trade Christian Campbell guy or anybody like that?
Yeah. So my guys. Like Arias, the top 2, Arias and Password, I wouldn't have really moved for rentals. If you got like a controllable guy, like a 1+1 kind of thing, we could talk. The one guy that I was not moving for anybody except Mackenzie Gore and Joe Ryan is Peyton Tolley. That is a legit pitching prospect that has been catapulting up boards.
Okay, I know my buddy Joe Braverman over here has been talking a lot about Peyton Tolley lately too. Now I think I know where he gets it from, or you got it from him. Either way, that's the voice of Pat Brown of the Play Tessie podcast, joining me here on the Christian Arcand Show. Pat, thanks so much. Great to talk with you, and looking forward to the next episode post-deadline.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
All right, very good. Pat Brown from Play Tessie joining me here on the Christian Arcand Show.